In a small village, there lived a boy named Arjun. His father was a humble mechanic, mending bicycles and scooters day in and day out just to put food on the table. Arjun's life was simple, but his dreams were anything but. Every morning, as other children zipped to school on shiny new bikes or rode in rickshaws, Arjun pedaled his old, broken bicycle. It had no bell, a missing handle grip, and a chain that loved to slip off at the worst moments. But Arjun never complained. In his eyes, there was always a spark of hope, a quiet confidence that one day he would achieve something truly great. At school, he was an easy target. "Hey, look, here comes Arjun on his flying machine." The other kids would jeer. "Can't your father fix you a better bike?" The laughter would echo through the schoolyard, but Arjun would just smile. Sometimes his few friends would ask, "Doesn't it bother you when they make fun of you like that?" Arjun would calmly reply, "No, let them laugh. One day I'll do something that will make them clap instead." Then with a gentle smile he'd add, "One day I'll drive to school in my own car and everyone will stop and watch." This only made them laugh harder. How could the son of a poor mechanic, a boy who could barely afford his school fees, ever dream of owning a car? But Arjun wasn't just a dreamer, he was a doer. He was fascinated by machines. Whenever his father was at work, Arjun would stand beside him, his eyes glued to every nut and bolt. "Papa, what does this piston do?" he'd ask. "And where does this wire connect?" His father would smile and patiently explain the mechanics of it all. One day he said jokingly, "Son, if you keep asking so many questions, you'll become a better mechanic than me." But Arjun's reply was serious. "Not a mechanic, Papa. I'll become an engineer. And one day I'll start my own car company." His father laughed. "A car company? That takes a lot of money and a lot of education, son." "It's not that easy." Arjun looked his father in the eye and said with unshakable confidence, "Maybe not easy, Papa, but dreams don't need money, they need courage." From that day forward, his father never questioned his son's ambition again. Time flew by. Arjun excelled in his studies and earned a scholarship to study engineering in the big city. College life was a struggle. Money was tight, so tight that he often couldn't afford books or even a proper meal. There were nights he went to sleep with an empty stomach, but he never, ever considered giving up. He became known on campus as the bicycle boy. While his peers arrived on new motorcycles and in fancy cars, Arjun still rode his old, faithful bicycle. One day, his classmates started teasing him again. "Still on that old thing, Arjun? When are you going to grow up?" Arjun just smiled and replied, "When I grow up, you'll be buying cars from my showroom." They all roared with laughter, but they couldn't see the steady fire burning in his eyes, a determination that none of them could possibly understand. After graduation, finding a job was tough. Arjun worked in small, dusty workshops, repairing engines and soaking up every bit of knowledge he could. He studied the intricate dance of moving parts, how engines breathed life into steel, and how designs could be made more efficient. One afternoon, while tinkering with an old car, a powerful idea struck him like lightning. What if I could build a car that uses less fuel but runs faster and is affordable for everyone? That very day, his real work began. He didn't have a fancy lab. All he had was a tiny garage behind his small rented room. But for him, that was more than enough. He poured his heart and soul into his project. He spent his nights sketching designs, experimenting with engine parts, and scavenging for spare components. He worked odd jobs during the day to fund his dream, and then worked on his dream late into the night. His friends tried to reason with him. "Arjun, you're wasting your life. Stop chasing this impossible dream. Be practical." But Arjun would just smile. "I'm not wasting my life," he'd say. "I'm building it." After years of relentless struggle, he finally did it. He built his first prototype, a small, remarkably efficient car. But his journey was far from over. When he presented his creation to potential investors, they all shut him down. "You're just a boy from a village," they said dismissively. "You don't have a degree from a famous college, no family connections, no money." One even told him, "People like you don't build cars." Each rejection felt like a punch to the gut, but Arjun refused to be knocked out. His breakthrough came unexpectedly. He decided to display his car at a small local exhibition. Visitors were astonished. Here was a car that was innovative, fuel-efficient, and most importantly, affordable. A small startup company saw the genius in his work and decided to take a chance on him. That single investment changed everything. With their support, Arjun's dream began to take shape in the real world. His car quickly gained popularity for its smart design and practicality. His ideas started to send ripples through the entire automobile industry. He named his company Arav Motors in honor of his father. 10 years later, Arjun was no longer the bicycle boy. He was the owner of a phenomenally successful car company, held dozens of patents, and was celebrated as one of the most innovative engineers of his generation. When he inaugurated his company's new global headquarters, he placed something very special right at the main entrance, his old, broken bicycle, preserved under glass. A journalist at the event asked, "Sir, why did you keep that old bicycle here?" Arjun smiled warmly and said, "This bicycle reminds me of a time when the world saw only weakness, but my dreams gave me strength. It reminds me that our journey defines us more than our destination." One sunny afternoon, Arjun drove his company's latest model back to his old village. He stopped his shiny new car right outside the school gate. The children playing in the yard stared, their eyes wide with wonder. "Whose car is that?" One of them shouted. Arjun stepped out, a familiar smile on his face. "Hello, kids. Want to know a secret?" They all gathered around him, buzzing with curiosity. "I studied in this very school," he said gently. "Back then I didn't have a car. All I had was a broken bicycle." The children gasped in disbelief. They couldn't imagine this successful man in a sharp suit was once just like them. Arjun continued, "People laughed at me too. They said I'd never amount to anything. But I chose to listen to my dreams, not to their laughter. And that has made all the difference." The children broke into applause, their faces glowing with inspiration. For them, Arjun wasn't just a man with a car company. He was living proof that dreams are more powerful than doubts. The moral of this story is simple. Listen to your dreams, not to those who laugh at them. Dreams aren't meant to be slept on. They're meant to be lived. With courage, patience, and unwavering faith in yourself, no amount of ridicule can ever hold you back. At the entrance of Arav Motors, beneath that old bicycle, a simple plaque reads, "When you fix a falling chain, you're not just repairing a cycle, you're learning how to move forward." Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that fuels your dreams. Until next time, keep moving forward.